such initiative, we on behalf of the women entrepreneurs of Nagaland would like to humbly propose an alternate financing as a between component to help us to cross the chasm of this institutional requirement versus the societal norms that is present at the moment. And if we may kindly put a request forward for a revolving fund exclusively for the women entrepreneurs of Nagaland that can be introduced to enable us for affordable and collateral free funding for businesses from now till then. We believe this will compound our growth. We believe this will beyond sustenance, beyond livelihood, and help us to scale and expand, especially for women entrepreneurs, existing women entrepreneurs who have already proved, validated the products in the market, by the market, and are ready to explore the global space out there. We as Women Entrepreneurs Network of the state, we pledge to join hands with the state government, with organizations and institutions in working towards bringing financial literacy, bringing fund utilization knowledge, compliance readiness, and all other things that is required to enable the women entrepreneurs. However, at this juncture, as a between component, creation of revolving funds exclusively for women entrepreneurs of the state can be of great opportunity to propel us this potential that we have, and it can also be an alternative for mainstreaming our businesses. With this, we are thankful for this opportunity to present the status of Nagaland women entrepreneurship and its great potential to our Honorable Women Minister Finance. We thank you so much for your leadership and also for being a role model to many of us here. Thank you.
And doing research in over 70 countries. And India happens to be the 34th country to have requested this program in the United Nations General Assembly. India has also launched a special program called the HIRA program, which stands for High Impact Entrepreneurs from Emerging Region for Action since 2018. And the government of India has given a mandate to develop 450 HIRAs by 2030. Nagaland happens to be the first state in India to have requested a full development cycle for this program in India. And IDAN being the implementing agency in Nagaland and CITBIF being the financing agency for this first development cycle. The MOU which was signed yesterday. Ma'am, and to everyone here, I would like to share a little bit about my journey with this program to emphasize on the importance of mindset development. So I've been with this program since 2018. The first delegation from Nagaland to have been sponsored by IDAN to go through this program. Before I joined this program, I was a mere farmer working with few hundred farmers, trying to sustain ourselves and trying to help the economy in whatever way possible. But after I joined this program, the program has been hand-holding, supporting, and also mentoring to become a better decision maker, to help me improve in my entrepreneurial competence, which has helped me in making better decisions, which in turn has helped me to develop my enterprise further. And today, as I sit here, today we have developed, through the help of this program, our enterprise to more than 3,000 farmers whom we work with, and in turn developing a sustainable value chain. So this is a little bit about my journey with the program. Currently, under the first development mandate, we have the IDAN has been given a mandate to develop 10 HIRAs in the state, 10 high-impact entrepreneurs. But ma'am, we believe that we need more HIRAs, not just in Nagaland, but also elsewhere in India, who could work together.
Today, meeting you and listening from you, I think other time also, on the home front, time to time, we should make a request to meet the government so that we can share with one another that whatever possible from the state, in a small way also, we can extend help. Therefore, Madam has to catch her plane, go back to Delhi. When we decided to take her around the two village to have a Delhi today. There is a comment. So I was not thinking to speak, but given the opportunity, I cannot keep quiet. I think Sarvasi start taking action. And if you have any problem, you come to the government so that the bank and entrepreneurs we can discuss. I think we can work it out. And once the land issues, the land laws are in place, we can do a lot of activities. Earlier, you are aware, we had discussed with all the communities and the tribal leaders also, where particularly the foothill areas of Dimapur area, where you want to declare as a special economic development zone, so that we can declare as a industrial area, not only Dimapur area, but the whole foothill, so that you can mortgage. Because business means you need money, and money means you have to go to the bank. Therefore, these systems are not in place. That's why we are having a difficult time. And I think things will take off with Madam's initiative and giving a timeline to formulate by November. It's a challenge. Government is going to talk to all the banks and also CSR corporates. One by one, we have drawn it down and we will be contacting them. We will be setting up a committee to monitor. So these are the things. And you have rightly pointed out about the power situation. Actually, we should not be having problem with the power, but our land issues. Even land compensated, people don't want to raise the water level. And that's why the generation of hydro is reduced drastically. That is one thing. And the DQ project, about 160 megawatts, that was ready from long time back. But land issue is not resolved till now. And teasers and key and stages in the young DQ or teasers and key, I think easily, without the minor NRE and solar, we can develop hydro minimum 1,000 megawatts, which is more than sufficient for us. And already, in principle, the financing part also agreed, EFP, except to added programs, projects, and there are takers. That's why, and all the DPR, everything is ready. So in this sector, your worries will see the industrial Nagar, we are setting up solar, so there is to back up the power supply. Because you want to set up any industry, you need power.
With the proposals or with the thoughts, with an idea, business proposition, and the banks are going to be ready to handhold you and extend. And I'm not getting into the statistics, which is again something which I'll have to explain through the video also. Particular concern about MSMEs, I would want to tell you that the attention given to the MSMEs since 2014, after the Prime Minister Narendra Modi has come in, various different types of help, redefining them without them losing the advantage, even if they grow in the area of being an MSME, but many of them wanted to remain where they were instead of expanding and growing, because they thought once they grew, they will lose out on being an MSME and therefore lose out on being able to get those benefits which government extend to MSMEs. We've even widened the definition, saying even if you grow, you still won't get the benefit. And for each of their strands, micro, small, medium, loans even through telephone, within 59 minutes agreeing to in principle agreement being given to loan. So like that every stage, and much more sensitively during COVID, we ensured that the defaults, if any, or becoming NPA, if any, will not be categorized as defaults or NPAs during the moratorium period, so that because of COVID, because of lockdown, you are not able to perform, you will still not be at the bad books of the bank, and therefore that moratorium was extended. No action was taken upon any of the MSMEs who could not fulfill their commercial commitments to the banks. So I'm progressing little by little to say at every stage attention has been given to small businesses, and the promotion by Prime Minister being vocal for local is something which the banks are also taking it as a serious thing. That which is very local will have to get attention from the banks, will have to get attention from the state and the central administrations, and common facilities will have to be provided for them. Digital access will have to be given so that they can find markets outside of the local area, but yet having the strength of the local products. So that is one very big initiative that is taken off in a very big way in many parts of our country. Now, the other thing which I had suggested to the Honorable Chief Minister is some work I think is happening on it, but we need to give it a big push. For every district, identify a product, and under the ODOP, I think one district, one product category, that produce will be given all kinds of assistance. People who are engaged in that production or in the value chain for producing that commodity, which is unique to that district, there will be facilities provided by Government of India. NABARD or SIDBI or all of them are engaged in it. Many states have benefited by identifying that one product for that district. Other products also will have their head, but that unique product for that district will be given every assistance so that they can access markets if only they can scale up and aggregate the produce. I was very intrigued when I heard that young man from the UN-related training. If only the government can support, if only the government can cooperate. What exactly are the supports and cooperation that you need from the center? If you would only write to us. Because at 3-4 stages, I was listening to you very keenly, saying we are getting all this assistance from UN, but after all, UN's assistance also comes through government. It doesn't come on its own directly without anything to do with the state government or the central government. That comes through the government. But if post that you're telling me, for the 4 different stages of training that they are offering you, you would still need help to be obtained from the central government or the state government. What are they? Specify. Nobody should go on telling me in abstraction. It's like me telling you the policy is ready. How does it matter? How does the policy work for you is what I have to look at. How does the policy come to the ground is what I have to look at. Similarly, if you tell me, we want support, tell me what, how, specify. So please do write to me with all the details. And similarly, someone else who wants to keep writing regularly, reviewing Nagaland's economy. Nothing stops you, sir. Please do write. I'll certainly give all the attention, look at it, but I may not be able to reply each time that you write. I will benefit from what you can send to me. As regards women, yes, there's so much which is remaining there as potential, and I'll seek the help of Chief Minister here to tell me if there's anything specific which has to be extended. But simply put, the next 3 months, it's up to you to approach the banks who are coming to your district. I'm not asking you to go to far-flung areas searching for the bank. I've told them clearly for all of them to reach your district, well in advance inform you, and be there. So it's not just going to be car loans or motorbike loans, scooter loans, sir. It will be all kinds of loans provided there are proposals. Nagaland very much requires good exposure to investments, and also look at projects which can benefit from CSR. I did mention this even during the program. This is always a conundrum, whether CSR funds can come where there is no investment, and unless investments are already in a state, their CSRs being spent in that state as a natural consequence is what people pick up on. But Nagaland is still yet to get as much investment as it is capable of absorbing. And as a result, it does also run short of CSR. But this one call by the Honorable Chief Minister of Nagaland, which he met and also gave me in sometime early this year, March sometime this year. As a result, you've had quite a good number of CSR offering, each one tied to some good projects which will benefit, and mostly I saw an accent on health related projects. So procuring good high-end equipments for hospital, procuring medical equipments, also making sure the hospitals get facilities. Like for instance, one of the programs that I will be concluding today my visit with is a dialysis center which one of the CSR funds has started up here. So CSR, as a result of that one call from Honorable Chief Minister early this year, has brought in quite a big number of fund givers, and as a result there are quite a few projects which have come out. 34 I think, if I remember the number of projects, Nakul, or how many CSR projects were there totally?
36.
36 projects have been announced to a total amount of 38 crores, and of which, 38 crores over and above that, some of them were yet to come because the projects have not been completely presented to them. They're ready with the money. We had planned that we'll come with a 50 crore announcement. Now it has reached 38 crores, I think, and the rest of it will be made up sooner. If that is one side of the story, the investment interest you saw in the conclave, that quite a few of these investors had come, industries had come, who are keen to work on possible ways of investing in Nagaland. From the ministry's side, we wanted to ensure that there are enough bank access to Nagaland. As a result, we had a complete review of how many districts benefit from the presence of banks, and those districts which are really not as much covered by banks, there should be banking facility provided. Just for your information, I want to say Dimapur has the maximum presence of banks, 94 branches in total, which is both public sector, RRBs, and if any private banks as well. Second comes Kohima with 58 in total public sector, rural bank and others as well. And third place goes to Mokokchung, fourth is Wuka, and fifth is Mon. Now in Mon, incidentally, yesterday we had opened up a private sector bank, Axis Bank's branch. In all, totally in Nagaland, 271 branches are prevalent of banks, both of public sector and private sector. Just only public sector and regional rural banks. Of the 271, 200 bank branches are of public sector banks and regional rural banks. Now, through the Jan Dhan Yojana, accounts have been opened for all the citizens. As a result, a total cumulative direct benefit transfer amount which has reached Nagaland, DBT transfers to people who get it into their account. It could be for one category or the other in which they are entitled to get the money. 287 crores have been given DBT to the person concerned. It goes into the account. a cumulative total of 287 crores have been reached. Yesterday during the presentation in the banking conclave, I had spoken about different schemes, how many got covered, how many persons got covered, what's the total amount, and yesterday exclusively in that program how many were added on to that total. I'm not going to go into that, but what is important for people in Nagaland to know, and through the media I'd like to present that here, is Nagaland certainly requires a lot of help in terms of resources. Yesterday, whilst the Chief Minister had invited me to meet his cabinet colleagues, he had given me a detailed presentation of what the situation is about the capital and the current account and the balance that is there, deficit. All that has been explained. But I just want to highlight some data through you for the people of Nagaland. Tax devolution to Nagaland has increased to 13,782 crores, 13,782 crores in the period of 2014 to 19, compared to just 3,844 crores, 3,844 crores during the period of 2009 to 14. So comparing similar periods, that is 2014 to 19 to 9 to 14, you can see that from 3,844, I've already mentioned that number, 3,844, it has gone up to 13,782 crores. Now that is what is due, collected, total tax collected, and amounts to be devolved per a formula given by the Finance Commission to each state. That's gone up. Now grants and aid which come from the center has also gone up. Grants and aid for the same period I'm talking about, 2014-19, compared with 2009-14. Between 14-19, it has reached 29,483 crores, 29,483 crores. Whereas it was, between 2009 and 14, it was 20,812 crores. You can see a clear increase of more than 9,000 crores. 20,812 crores. So these are some of the points which I want to highlight. Now for this year, this 22 to 23, the year in which we are, the total grants, Finance Commission based grants, which is what I read to you earlier, grants and aid, grants from the center to Nagaland for this year 22 to 23 will be 4,773 crores. That's the budgetary allocation I'm talking about. Infrastructure, particularly when it comes to Nagaland. Other than the usual infrastructure funds which come to the state, I just want to highlight that during the COVID year, we had extended a special assistance for states for building their infrastructure. That is therefore a scheme of special assistance to states for capital expenditure. It was given to all states, particularly for Northeast. We had allocated a total sum, every state could get their share. That's a very important aspect, and it helped states during the COVID years, 2020, 2021, and it was extended further to 22. Now 23, we have come up with a total of 1 lakh crore for all states, from which again Nagaland can benefit, and that will be an interest-free 50-year village, so they can use it for any one major project that they want, or 1 or 2 projects. But I'll highlight a special program which was designed for the Northeast called the PM Divine, which is called PMDEVINE, which is development of infrastructure in the Northeast. DEV for development, I for infrastructure, NE for the Northeast. So PM Divine, we made a total allocation initially of 1,500 crores for the entire Northeast. States could bid proposals. They can be greenfield, they can be brownfield. And in that, without going further into the details, I would specifically state that the state of Nagaland may submit capital expenditure project proposals in any sector up to an amount of 1,600 crores to meet any developmental infrastructure requirement. There will be a component of it, about 20% of the component, which will be tied to some reforms. 80% of this amount can be untied. You can take it as it is. The 20% is tied only because we want to make sure, together with these kind of monies which you're receiving, you're also bringing in those reforms which otherwise you find it difficult. So one or two steps have been given which I'm sure the state government will consider in the interest of better governance and take it up from there. My opening statements, I just wanted to highlight these particular things. I also will finally, I'll conclude by saying this and leave it open for the House to ask questions. Smart City Mission, 17 out of the 35 projects of Kohima Smart City are completed. The central government has also released a total of 245 crores for Kohima City alone, that Smart City project, out of which 195.99 crores have been utilized as of 8th July 2022. So I just want to highlight that. I mentioned yesterday the various benefits which have been released, but one thing I'd like to add, PM Kisan, which the PM releases on a regular basis, money is released for farmers. 2,13,603 beneficiaries of Kisan, the PM Kisan in the state of Nagaland. Regular release of funds reached 2,13,603 farmers, beneficiary farmers in the state of Nagaland. Similarly, Jan Arogya Yojana, which is the PM Jan Arogya Yojana, in which up to 5 lakhs a family can benefit. In that also, 81 empaneled hospitals are there in Nagaland, and 2.54 lakh e-health cards have been already issued. E-health cards are very, very important because the patient can go to the hospital and ask for treatment without showing any more papers or pay cash. So that e-card does it all for you, and that has been issued to 2.54 lakh beneficiaries. And this is for PM Jan Arogya Yojana. Ujjwala Yojana, I think the data is already available with you, I'll just highlight. But for the media's sake, we are giving you a complete compilation of every data. Even if you've written it down or if you've not, you will get a copy of this running to some several pages. It goes into greater detail of every scheme, of every tax being devolved, every program that is getting covered.